look. We're going to start off with Micromega. This is an interesting one because it is controlled by one of Chris's clansmen, in other words, someone from Scotland by name of Dave King. Very interesting person, has had a long-running run-in with SARS, which got settled a year or so ago. The company, though, is involved with the provision of IT technology, occupational health and safety. That's probably the biggest part of the business. They own the NOSA brand, and they provide certification for businesses as well as all sorts of training programs that people can claim back from CETA in relation to. They have a substantial business too in the meter reading business, where they provide and outsource services to municipalities. South African municipalities, of course, don't have very many core competencies. That's why they use these outside people. The market cap of this operation, 2.1 billion rand. It's done pretty well lately. We'll look at the share chart in a while. Price earnings ratio 18.76. That's on the basis of their most recent results, where they came out with a pretty solid set of numbers. Dividend yield 1.84%. So just recap for us here, Dave King. I was joking that he's from your ethnic group, but you're probably best qualified to comment on Dave.
Yeah, back in the 90s, Paul, and I'm sure you'll remember, he ran a company called Specialized Outsourcing. So what he did is he took the back office and the middle office of a number of particularly financial services companies and outsourced, and he did
treasury management services,
exactly
that kind
of type of thing. Wonderful operation and very, very profitable. And as you say, he's been a fairly controversial character, but all the time, he had this other little baby, Micromega, doing exceptionally well in the background, not making a big song and dance about it, but as you rightly say, they've done exceptionally well over the past few years.
So as I said, the core of the business NOSA, but that is a big area because many companies can get their CETA contributions back, skills development levy contributions back, by sending their workers off to do these trainings and certifications. And of course, from a liability management point of view, businesses desperately need to make sure that they're covered in terms of their staff training, occupational health and safety procedures, so on and so forth. So that's huge. Yeah. That's a big business, and they've done a lot of bolt-on acquisitions in that space. That seems like a pretty solid area to operate in.
Yeah, in the old days it was predominantly the mining companies that had this type of thing. But anything that was mining related or heavy industrial related, but now it's expanded, as you rightly say. And in the normal course of events, you're finding, even in the office space these days, companies have to be very, very acutely aware of the safety of their staff, because that is in many instances their only asset. So yeah, it's vitally important that they adhere to these kind of NOSA ratings.
So in terms of the management team, we've got Dave King, who's got 70% roughly of the shares, sitting as executive chairman. Then we've got Greg Morris as CEO, Russell Dick as CFO. So they've built up this business. They've been doing lots of infill. They mentioned, because I had a meeting briefly with Greg Morris recently, that in the previous period when Dave's dramas with SARS were ongoing, they basically just kept up quietly, buying businesses, reinvesting in the operations. Now that that has been settled, because Dave King came to a settlement agreement, paid a substantial amount to SARS, that case is done, dusted. Dave is now at liberty to be fully involved in the business again. They're now going to try and push the business forward and to try and achieve some sort of gains at the share price level in order to, make money from what ought to be a business rated at the appropriate level given its prospects. So that sounds quite encouraging, and the recent results did drive the share price higher. Let's have a look and see what that share price looks like. So that's the 5-year chart. You can see that when the settlement gets done, that's where Dave King, kind of comes out from under the cloud. That looks pretty good.
Yeah. Dave King is one of these kind of icons. He's regarded as being a guru in this space. And obviously, when he was able to come back and apply his mind fully and not being concerned with other things related to income tax, then he was able to do an incredible job. And the market liked that. He has a tremendous following in the market, make no mistake.
Yeah, because as you say, this is Johannesburg, right? He has a following in the market because people like making money and they love second and third stories. Everyone's prepared to give everyone a fresh chance in this country of ours.
Exactly, and I think Dave's going to give it a full blast. It might be a relatively small cap at this point in time. Doesn't mean it's going to be like that for the foreseeable future.
There are also some other divisions, the MEX, which I think is involved with IT outsourcing and computer-based stuff and so on. So they've got the ability to grow in what appears to be a fairly sizable area. And they can do what companies like EOH and others have done, which is to pay people that sell them businesses partly in scrip using the higher PE rated paper and partly in cash. So it all looks like it could become a successful and working formula. Okay, as you can tell, I'm leaning towards hot on this one. I've been a little bit scared of it for quite a while, but I think it's beginning to show some character. How are you feeling with regard to the hot or not?
Oh no, this is very hot indeed.
Excellent. That's a good conclusion to arrive at after our first stock.